What's up, y'all? What's up, y'all? I just read somebody's comment that said this Chip Ferguson. He said this garbage continues. We don't have a lead. What's up, y'all, man? He said, "Bro, I'm done." What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling, man? How y'all feeling? Welcome to the live, man. Salute. Deal with it. 28. Welcome in, man. Trey, Bronny, and Bron. What's good? Shout out to you, Charles, from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Shout out to you, fam. Make sure y'all tap in. Let me know where y'all are coming in from. Chicago in the building. Shout out to Chi-Town in the building. Charles dropping hey yo, dog. We gotta get into it, man. We took off like 5 days to begin the month, so we gotta come back strong. Tuning in from Menlo, GA. Okay. Cat K Bahamas. Oh, all right. Salute from Los Angeles, South Central LA. What up? Buyout, Bronny and Bench Papa, no minutes. Bay Area was good. Shout out to you out there in DC. Let's give it like another 30 seconds. Let me get my energy right. I ain't gonna front. I'm tired, man. And then I got another live that I gotta do on my other channel after this one. So I'm a little tired, but it is what it is, man. Shout out to you in Bangkok. Italy in the building. It was good. What else we got? And to what? And to Pool Tool. All right, and to Pool Tool. Hope I got that right. All right, so let's get into this one, man. Funny enough, this story that we're doing now, this live that we're doing now, was the live that I was planning to do before we did the first one about Austin Reeves' agent stepping to Rich Paul. This was supposed to be that live. Then I saw this story. I mean, then I saw that story, so I went first. But this is the live that we have planned for y'all. So, as you guys know, we now know that Austin Reeves' agent, Reggie, I can't remember. I think Reggie Barry or something like that. He confronted Rich Paul on Tuesday night's game in LA during halftime, and according to Dave McMenamin, they had a spirited 5 to 10 minute conversation. I think about a 5-minute conversation about Rich Paul speaking on another agent's client who he doesn't represent. So that was the story. But prior to that, we have another story here that I wanted to get into this afternoon or earlier today that I want to post in the comment section. This is from Basketball Forever. All right. This is from basketballforever.com. I posted it in the comment section. You guys can check it out when you have a moment, but I'll read it to you. It says, Lakers are reportedly frustrated with Rich Paul's podcast. It's one thing to think that privately and one thing to put that out publicly. People from the Lakers believe that Rich Paul has overstepped his bounds, particularly with his recent suggestion to trade Austin Reeves. LeBron James's agent, Rich Paul, has drawn flack from his comments on his newly launched Game Over podcast with Max Kellerman. In particular, many don't think that it's right for Paul to publicly criticize the Los Angeles Lakers because he is overstepping his role as a player agent, and there is a conflict of interest since he represents one of the key players on the team. It continues on. It also says, let me close this tab. Yeah. Despite the negative reaction, Paul continues to speak his mind episode after episode without censor. And according to the Lakers reporter, Johan Buva, this is also starting to create a disconnect within the organization. What did I tell you? Oh, that's right. Oh, that is right. Hold on, guys. Just stick with me for a second. Hold on. I can play you the video. Just a second. I totally forgot that there was a video to go along with this. So let's go ahead and let me send you this video. Just a second. I totally forgot this. Let me send it to myself here. Just call it video. And then I'll play it for y'all. I totally forgot. I'd read this story this afternoon and I totally forgot. So let me actually pull up the video and play it from Twitter so you guys can see it for yourselves, because this is pretty, I totally forgot. Please forgive me for that. Let me just wait for it to hit my email. And okay, good. So here's the video. Let me play the video for y'all. So this is the reporter, the Lakers reporter. All right.
Ryan Lucas, thank you for the super chat. I heard RP Pod has
Hold on.
LA and AR camp unhappy.
Okay.
Let's see. Ryan Lucas, thank you for the super chat. I heard RP Pod has LA and AR camp unhappy. Confirm. 2, DA got to go. 3, no way Luka is okay with this roster/play. 4, any chance Rob retires season's end. I can confirm that, people have not been happy. I'm not going to go more specific than that, but I would just say people have not been happy with that pod and some of the comments, especially I feel like there was some of the initial stuff, like there was they're not contenders, right? And that was one thing. And even some people inside that building might believe that at the core, if you gave them truth serum. It was like one thing to think that privately, one thing to put that out publicly, but then some of the stuff that has come out since, most notably, I think recently, this whole trade Austin Reeves for Jaren Jackson Jr., who they basically averaged the same amount of rebounds, and that would have been an interesting trade a year ago, but Austin Reeves is just a straight up better player than Jaren Jackson Jr. and has more trade value than Jaren Jackson Jr. So I actually think if Memphis wants to throw in multiple picks and Gigi Jackson, then maybe that's a conversation. But the general framework of just Triple J for Austin Reeves straight up does not make any sense, in my opinion, from the Lakers side. Like, yes, the theory of Triple J makes sense, but he has not been the same defender the last couple of years. He is not a good rebounder. So if you play him at the 5.
So that's what he had to say there. I want to continue reading the article. For those of you who just tuned into the live, let me share the article again for you guys, and I'll start from the beginning, and then we'll refer back to the video here. So let me read it again. This is from basketballforever.com. It says, Lakers are reportedly frustrated with Rich Paul's podcast. It's one thing to think that privately and one thing to put that out publicly. People from the Lakers believe that Paul has overstepped his bounds, particularly with his recent suggestion to trade Austin Reeves. Now, let me get to that part here. It says, LeBron James's agent, Rich Paul, has drawn flack for his comments on his newly launched Game Over podcast with Max Kellerman. In particular, many don't think that it's right for Paul to publicly criticize the Los Angeles Lakers because he is overstepping his role as a player agent, and there is a conflict of interest since he represents one of the key players on that team. Despite the negative reaction, Paul continues to speak his mind episode after episode without censor. And according to the Lakers reporter Johan Buva, this is also starting to create a disconnect within the organization. We'll get back to the sound in a minute. It says, I can confirm that people have not been happy. I'm not going to, okay, then it goes on. Criticizing the current Lakers. Created by Bill Simmons, The Ringer, Game Over debuted on December the 7th and releases multiple episodes per week on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Although the topic discussed in the show are diverse and even include an NFL conversation, no episode goes without Paul talking about the Lakers. As Boaz said, the first comment that ruffled feathers was Paul's assertion that the Lakers are not a championship contender. Haven't I been telling y'all this? He doubled down on that last week when he said, if Luka Doncic turns into prime Tony Allen, the Lakers still would not win with their current roster. Here's what Rich Paul said. It's one thing to think that here it goes. It's one thing to think that privately. This is what Buha said. But another thing to say that publicly. But then some of the stuff that has come out since, most notably, I think recently, the trade Austin Reeves for Jaren Jackson, who they basically average the same amount of rebounds, and then it goes on and on and on. And then it goes that Paul pitched the trade and all that. All right, so you guys heard it. Let's unpack this. Have I not been saying this for the past week and a half? Have I not? Did I not say it? Because I remember, for those of y'all that are in this live, you will remember. Please put a 1 in the chat if you remember. Did I not say at the end of the season last summer, when LeBron started posting pictures in front of the Clippers locker room and all of that stuff, did I not say that this guy may not go quietly? Did I not say that? I said that this guy may cause chaos before he leaves this team. LeBron supporters were like, oh man, all you do is hate LeBron James. All you do is hate LeBron James. I'm like, no, we know the dude. He's an extreme narcissist. And when the Lakers told him, we're not extending you, that in his mind was like, I'm done with this team. Then all of a sudden, instead of being at training camp, he's playing around with he's dancing in front of with Kai Cenat. Then we heard he missed all of preseason. Then mysteriously he had sciatica. He didn't mention that before. Meanwhile, he was playing golf not too long ago. Then he misses all of that. What happened? The very first game of the season when the Lakers started the season. What happened? LeBron sat on the bench and pouted the entire game. Who remembers that? To the point where even some other NBA players that do media were like, damn, you see LeBron on the sideline? He didn't crack a smile. He didn't clap. He didn't do nothing. He just sat there for the entire game, totally disengaged. And I said to myself, we got a problem. Before this guy got back, the Lakers were literally fun to watch. We never thought that they were going to win a championship, but they were certainly a fun team to watch. You had Luka, you had LeBron, like everybody was feeling themselves and playing well, and it was good times. This dude walks in and sucks all of the energy out of the room. And I want to say this about Dave McMenamin, because he put out these comments about Russell Westbrook being a locker room vampire. I think you meant to say LeBron James, because this dude is looking like a cancer to this team. Not just him, but his associates. Do you know what it is for the agent of LeBron to be criticizing the Lakers publicly and then talking about what front office decisions they should make? You think they don't know what they're doing? You think they don't know what they're doing? Of course they know what they're doing. And now you see why the Lakers are done with this guy. This is like a literal mutiny. The guy is staging a mutiny. He has his foot soldier in Rich Paul doing his dirty work. And then Rich Paul says, man, I'm my own man. I say whatever I want to say. Rich Paul, your biggest client is LeBron James. If you're talking about trades that need to happen on the Lakers and you represent LeBron, we are going to assume you're speaking for him. And obviously, you doing this, there's a term called conflict of interest. It's a conflict of interest. You don't have to be saying all of these things that you're saying about Austin Reeves and the Lakers franchise. You're overstepping your bound. You are an agent. But what is becoming crystal clear to me is that this is how these guys have been operating, for the last 20 years. It's clear now. It's clear. This is what they've been doing from organization to organization to organization. And even Laker fans, I see some of us in the comment section just go, the saddest part is the Lakers couldn't get rid of LeBron even if they wanted to. The only way the Lakers would get rid of LeBron is to waive him. And for that to happen, I think that they know it will turn their entire season into a bloody S show. That's the only way. Now, they could forcibly remove him, but I don't think they're going to do that. They could do it the same way the Clippers did to Chris Paul when they sent his ass home. They could do that, but I don't think they'll do that. I don't think they will do that. Something else we got to talk about before I go back into the report here. Where are the Laker legends? Where's Magic Johnson in all of this? Where's Magic Johnson? Where's James Worthy? Where are all of the Laker legends that are supposed to represent the team Why are you guys quiet? Why are you guys watching the Lakers get turned into a muck? They're running a muck over there, and you can't get a mumbling word out of Magic Johnson can't put out a tweet. Magic Johnson can't put out a tweet. You can't put out a tweet and be like, Laker Nation, we gonna be all right. You can't do nothing like that. You can't do nothing. All of them are running and hiding. You know the one person that wouldn't. Kobe wouldn't put out a tweet, but you put a microphone in front of him. Put a microphone in front of him and ask him what he thinks is going on. The last time Kobe, when he was alive, when he spoke about the Lakers, he was talking about LeBron James needing to stop making excuses. Those were his words, and that sent what's his name, Nick Wright, into an absolute just a rage. How dare he? Because LeBron was trying to make excuses. Unfortunately, he's not around. Unfortunately, he's not around. Unfortunately, he's not around. If Kobe was alive playing with LeBron James, he would be the alpha on the team. There would be none of this Rich Paul, and there would be no such thing going down. None of it. None of it, because Kobe would confront him. We know this. We know this. He would have confronted him. We know that. And this is what toxic leadership looks like. This is what it looks like when you get into the LeBron James business. This is what you get. Now the organization is fed up of the organization. Let me read the comment here. The fact that the Queen proudly wears that romper room patch with no shame demonstrates his loser mentality. Magic Johnson made a deal with the Weasel Devil by signing him. Yeah, I think it was a mistake bringing LeBron to the Lakers, man. I really believe so. Let me read the article for the new people that just got into the live. Let me post it in again in the comment section here, and we'll play the video for you. So that's the article right there from Basketball Forever. It says, matter of fact, you know what? Let me pin it to the top so I don't have to keep posting it. So the article is pinned to the top there. All right. It says, Lakers are reportedly frustrated with Rich Paul's podcast. It's one thing, it's one thing to think that privately, and one thing to put that out publicly. People from the Lakers believe that Paul has overstepped his bounds, particularly with his recent suggestions to trade Austin Reeves. LeBron James' agent, Rich Paul, has drawn flack for his comments on his newly launched Game Over podcast. And then, despite the negative reaction, Paul continues to speak his mind episode after episode without censor. And according to the Lakers reporter, Johan Buva, this is also starting to create a disconnect within the organization. He then goes on to say, and I'm going to play this sound for y'all. He says, it's one thing to put that out, to put that thing privately, and another thing to put it out publicly. But then some of the stuff that has come out since, most notably, I think recently, this trade Austin Reeves for Jaren Jackson, who they basically average the same amount of rebounds. And then it goes on to say, and then it talked about how the Lakers are not a good organization. Let me see where that is. Okay, now let me get to the sound. I got to read that part all over again. Oh, here it goes. Created by Bill Simmons, The Ringer, Game Over, debuted on December 27th. Although topics discussed in the show are diverse and even include NFL conversation, no episode goes without Paul talking about the Lakers. As Buha said, the first comment that ruffled feathers was Paul's assertion that the Lakers are not championship contenders. He doubled down on that last week when he said, if Luka Doncic turns into prime Tony Allen, the Lakers still would not win with their current roster. This is Rich Paul. Now, I want to play what this reporter had to say. This Laker reporter had to say here. Let me play it for y'all. Oh.
Ryan Lucas, thank you for the super chat. I heard RP Pod has LA and AR camp unhappy. Confirm. 2, DA got to go. 3, no way Luka is okay with this roster/play. 4, any chance Rob retires season's end. I can confirm that, people have not been happy. I'm not going to go more specific than that, but I would just say people have not been happy with that pod and some of the comments, especially I feel like there was some of the initial stuff, like there was they're not contenders, right? And that was one thing, and even some people inside that building might believe that at the core if you gave them truth serum. It was like one thing to think that privately, one thing to put that out publicly, but then some of the stuff that has come out since, most notably, I think recently, this whole trade Austin Reeves for Jaren Jackson Jr., who they basically averaged the same amount of rebounds, and that would have been an interesting trade a year ago, but Austin Reeves is just a straight up better player than Jaren Jackson Jr. and has more trade value.
So you heard it there. So you heard what he had to say there. That's a report. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, True Light. Appreciate that. So you heard what he had to say. I told y'all these guys are problematic people. I told y'all. Oh, Dreamers Pro, you hating, man. You hating. You see, I'm hating. If I'm a hater, what do you call these dudes? And then LeBron, in response to what, I don't know if you guys were part of the other live, let me show you what LeBron James had to say in response to Rich Paul's comments. Let me show you what his response was. Let me pull it up here. I had it on my phone. Okay. So look at this. Austin Reeves' agent confronted by Rich Paul over mock trade. We did that this not too long ago. Now look at LeBron's comments over this. It says, LeBron James on his agent Rich Paul proposing Austin Reeves trade on his podcast. Rich is his own man, and what Rich says is not the direct reflection of me and how I feel. AR knows how I feel about him. That's what LeBron, he's trying to distance himself from this. I don't know how you can distance yourself from your agent, who we know of because of you. He said it's not even a point. He shouldn't have said that, period. Yeah, bro, I told y'all. But Laker Nation, it's okay, man. Half of the season is gone. Half of the season is gone. All you got to do is endure this nonsense for another half, and you're done. This will be the end of it. And when he leaves, it will be like a black cloud that got lifted over this. Trust me. The sun will shine again. Trust me. When he leaves, it will be like a black cloud that got lifted off this team. Trust me. Trust me. And then he's going to go to the next organization and go turn that into a clown show, whatever organization that is. That's going to be. We're halfway there. We are halfway there. So all of these things that they're trying to do by sabotaging the team, trying to ruin the confidence of Austin Reeves, criticizing the front office, saying that Luka needs to, if he turned into Tony Allen on defense, they still wouldn't want one championship. All of these stuff that he's trying to do, none of it's going to work. He said, who will sign him? Somebody will sign. Of course, somebody will sign LeBron James. Somebody will sign him. Of course, somebody will. Philadelphia gave Paul George $200 million, so somebody will sign LeBron James. Somebody gonna sign him. He said, "Why did Luka decide to resign with this S show?" Here's what I think. And this is just my beat on things, right? This is what I think. I think Luka, they made it clear to Luka. This is what I think. I have no proof of this. That this will be LeBron James's last season. And Luka said, okay, I can tolerate one more season. Right? I can do one more season. And I think they needed to make that guarantee to Luka. Because I do not see any scenario where Luka Doncic re-signs with the Lakers long term and LeBron is there long, that would be the single dumbest decision Luka Doncic did. Do you know why? How can you call yourself a smart basketball player and you want to win championships and you want to be paired up with a 41, 42-year-old? How does that make any sense? Look at who's on the Oklahoma City Thunder roster. Look at the San Antonio Spurs. Look at the Detroit Pistons. Look at the Denver Nuggets. And you want me to play with a 41-year-old? You got to be crazy. So I think an agreement was made in the back room where they said this will be LeBron's last season. Because Luka, do you notice in all of this, you're not hearing anything from Luka? You think Luka thinks? Of course he thinks. Of course Luka is not happy with this. Because Luka is cool with all the other guys. Those guys were building a chemistry before LeBron returned. You think Luka's happy to hear what Austin Reed, what Rich Paul is doing? You think he's really happy about that? A guy trying to ruin team chemistry? You think he's happy about that? Just looking at Luka, does Luka look like anybody that's even bothering himself with LeBron? Luka comes off to me as someone that is ignoring him. And he's doing a masterful job of it. He's ignoring him. He's ignoring him. He's just saying to himself, I'm going to go about my business. Let LeBron do what he's going to do. He'll be out of here by the end of the year. No need to ruffle any feathers, make any comments in the locker room. Luka Doncic, to me, seems like he's being a diplomat. Let LeBron do what he wants. If you feel like he wants to be the alpha on the team, let him be the alpha on the team. If that floats his boat, whatever floats your boat, champ, you go ahead and do it. If you like it, I love it. If you like it, I love it. But all I know is that at the end of the season, you're going to be up out of here. So do whatever it is you want to do. Now, I want to get to another topic here. So we got some other news that I want to talk about. Again, the article is right there if y'all want to check it out. We got some other news that I want to talk about. This is about Ja Morant. So, we were talking about the fact that Ja Morant wants to go to Miami, right? We were talking about that. Well, we got an update for y'all. Check this out. Ja Morant bought a home in Miami, fueling heat rumors. Ja Morant trade is starting to seem inevitable. Imagine Ja Morant in Miami. Ja Morant just purchased a $3.2 million home in Miami under a trust 3 weeks ago. The house is listed as bought by Demetrius Morant Trust. Ja going to Miami. Ja Morant is going to Miami. He said a lot of gangsters in Miami. Ja Morant is going to Miami. I think he's going there. He wants to go there. He said he better behave. I don't think he's gonna. I don't think Ja's gonna do his Ja Morant thing in Miami and with the Heat. I just don't see that being possible. I just don't see it. They have too strong of a culture. I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. If Ja don't turn his career around there, he's cooked. Yeah, I would agree with you. He said gangster. What is it with y'all on my damn hairline, bro? I don't know what to say, man. Is somebody a barber in this chat? Like, I don't know what to say. What is this with the... I'm too tired. I'm too tired, man. Let me see what else we got. For the first time, Memphis Grizzlies are entertaining offers on Ja Morant. So that's the last update, man. Guys, I am tired. Thank you guys for tuning in, man. I said my piece. I'm tired. We didn't give y'all a lot of good content today. You heard the story. Share the word. Share the live. Whatever it is. Y'all have a good night, man. I'm out. Have a good one. I'm out.